Hey everybody, it's James of geometriccharts.com, July 5th, about 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the daily chart of Bitcoin, but it's also going to be the last video on YouTube. The reason why is, unfortunately, I run a family business and I run it with my father, and he got some very bad news lately, just over the past couple of days, and his situation looks really grim right now. He's battled cancer, very aggressive mantle cell cancer, and he beat it the first time. Now it's come back. It's more rampant than ever, and it's just unfortunately going to take more of my time and energy now to hold everything together and then keep growing it, finding employees to kind of replace us in that sense, and then manage all of that at the same time while trying to manage my subscribers and what would I have there. So unfortunately, I'm going to end up shutting it all down in that sense, and in the social media is unfortunately, it's going to be shut down. So the site will as well too. I just unfortunately will not have the time in order to provide the analysis, go through the uploading the videos and all that stuff. But what I will do here is that I will try to outline this as best as I possibly can for everyone on YouTube and going forward. I do believe that if Bitcoin hangs above, even as low as like 6,500, that we will continue to the upside in this market. But if Bitcoin really starts to give back the gains that it got right in this area, then I definitely think it's over. And we're going to go back down. We're going to retest this area, and maybe we reduplicate something of this magnitude at best. And maybe this initial stage is this right here, and then we kind of flounder around as we move lower and lower and lower. In an ideal world for Bitcoin to proceed upward, we're probably looking at about a 50% retracement to probably the low 8s, mid 8s, and then from there back upward. If that does happen and we start to build this back up, I do think that Bitcoin will not only be in an upward trend, but we will also start to work our way back to 20,000 and beyond. And essentially, we are ending the bubble phase and that correction as well thereafter. Now, I think it's way too early for this to happen. I really, really do. But you can't deny a move that's 355% to the upside. Now the question is when it does pull back, will it continue to accelerate to the upside? And I do think as long as it's above 8,500, that's going to be positive for Bitcoin in the long-term future. If it does break through that 8,500, the next safety net for Bitcoin is that 6,300 area. And if it breaks that, expect 3,000. And more than likely, even if there's some violent whips, expect further downside, and it's not going to be a pretty picture. So one thing's for sure, we have had some negative momentum that you see here, triple tops in it as well too. It was way overdue, this corrective move. I do think the corrective move is still in the ongoing process. The question is now will Bitcoin try to alleviate and recapture the local high before dropping further, or will we just kind of drop through the wet paper towel and head down to that mid 8 range? I think and going into the next few weeks, possibly next few months, we're going to work our way down to here, no matter what happens. Even if we pop back up, I definitely believe that we are really going to move our way down into this zone, try to find some new buyers, refresh that bullish sentiment, meaning the bullish sentiment goes to bearish sentiment, and then onward and upward we go. At the end of the day, we have the flow of energy, and we have the changes in sentiment that drive markets from bullish to bearish to bullish to bearish, etc. The ebb and flow. And I think by correcting to this zone, a lot of people are going to get freaked out. A lot of people are going to think about some lower numbers. And I think that's enough to refresh that sentiment, get us heading higher, breaking above this, and potentially going back to 20,000. And I honestly, at the end of the day, I hope it does. I hope Bitcoin goes beyond 20,000. There's a lot of people that got caught up in here. I would hate to watch this do this type of move, get a lot of people riled up, and then dump out and literally go back to 3,000. If it does that, it's going to be sad because a lot of people have been tormented that jumped in here, and they're finally now starting to feel good. And if they get tormented again, that is like psychologically devastating to people. And if that's something like that happens, it's going to erode any hope that really anyone has in the market, and more than likely break through that support zone in this area and drive price down into very, very low numbers in Bitcoin. I do feel like cryptocurrency in the bigger picture has a very significant purpose, and I do think it is the future of currency in the marketplace, in the world globally. You can call it a conspiracy or whatever, but at the end of the day, understanding exactly where your citizens are spending the money, how they're spending their money, being able to track it from A to Z is, I think, what every government would salivate for, what every world government just the world over would salivate for. The fact that you have Facebook bringing in the Libra, where Facebook knows anyone who does Facebook marketing knows how much information they have on you. It's insane. It's mind-boggling. Get into Google marketing, you can get even crazier. Couple of those together, you're like essentially a little god on the planet, and you know exactly what people are doing. And it's insane. It's really eye-opening. Now, they've kind of over time, I did marketing like when it first got started in Facebook, when they first launched it all, and things have been curtailed in those senses, especially with all the privacy concerns, etc. But it's amazing to see how much information they have. Now they usher in the Libra, right? Big company, big name, everything sounds great, blah, blah, blah. That, to me, shows that the main goal of all of it is to understand what the citizens are doing across the globe. And Facebook's global. If they have a cryptocurrency from a big name that people trust, think about how much information you could literally have on people. Now, whether it's used for bad or good, I don't know. I don't really care at the end of the day. The point is that, I do care, obviously, if it's bad, but the point is that there's clearly a massive niche, and this is just one facet of a multifaceted system with the cryptocurrency, but I do see it taking over in the future, and it being the future, and it replacing fiat because of the benefits it has from just those aspects alone. It destroys cash. It destroys, everything. It just opens up so many doors. So anyways, that's just kind of like a little tidbit, but that is my honest opinion in this market. I didn't know I've been bearish on it, and I still wonder about this rally, but I do believe the overall future is bright for cryptocurrency in general. The question is, which ones will survive? That's going to be the hardest question to answer. But I do feel like Bitcoin is the household name, and if they do crash the markets, then we'll have something rise up from a bank, from Facebook, whatever, and essentially usher in the phoenix coming through the fire and being the essential one world currency to use. And it will open borders. It'll just I think it'll simplify things, and whether it's scary or good, I who knows what the future has, but I do feel like that is the ultimate goal. So anyways, I don't mean to go on a tangent, but That's kind of my overall feelings of Bitcoin and just the cryptocurrency market in general. And I do think if we can we can stay in this area and head back up, we could see the rebuilding of this market, and we could see Bitcoin essentially leading the way, because I do think it'll lead the way in the market, and most of the alts will kind of flounder around, maybe fall off, people lose interest, but I do feel like Bitcoin will be one of those major players in this market. But if we break through the 6,000 level and we start heading back to 3,000, I really, really think that's going to leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and it's going to be a very, very long time before anyone will be able to trust this market. Because imagine if you had a $10 million property and I said, hey, I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin, right? And you look at this chart and you think, well, would I rather have $10 million in cash or $10 million in Bitcoin? Now, some people out there are going to be like, oh, $10 million in Bitcoin because of everything. And, Bitcoin's projected to be like $2 billion in the future and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But when you look at this chart and you see the ebb and flow of it, and if this starts recreating something like this, how trustworthy do you think this asset is going to be? Probably not at all. I doubt there's going to be many people at the end of the day, people who really have that amount of money and who are willing to transact that amount of money, are willing to take this much risk, right? Yes, you can make a lot of money with big risk, but when you make it, I highly doubt you're going to be like, okay, sure, yeah, go ahead, let's transact in it, because imagine enduring this pain, ups and downs, and especially if you see something like this and the overall trend is down. But anyways, that's just kind of the bigger picture. I'm really sorry that I got to stop it all, but this is my farewell to everyone. I really appreciate all the support along the way, all the likes, all the comments, positive, even the negative ones. Everyone has their opinion. It's respectable, but I do appreciate it all. And hopefully that kind of lays out Bitcoin, my views of it going into the future. We'll see what unfolds in the future. Maybe if I do have some time in the future, I'll restart it back up. But as of now, I don't see that happening for a long time, until I can really get some solid employees and start to gain that free time back that I used to have with my father running the business alongside me. So anyways, I hope everybody has a great weekend, great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world. I truly appreciate everyone that came along the way, and I wish you the best in the future, and I hope I wish you tons of success in trading Bitcoin and all the other coins out there as well.